Hi, my name is Bryn Kovalik, and I will be doing a PowerPoint presentation on expressive and receptive language in students with autism spectrum disorder. What is receptive language? According to KidSense, receptive language is the ability to understand words and language. It involves gaining information and meaning from routine, visual information within the environment, sounds and words, concepts such as size, shape, colors, time, grammar, and written information. Some students may appear to be understanding the language that is being taught, but they also might be looking at clues to help them understand the context. Expressive language. Expressive language is the use of words, sentences, gestures, and writing to convey meaning and messages to others. It includes such skills as being able to label objects, label the environment, describe actions and events, put words together in sentences, use grammar correctly, retell a story, answer questions, and write a short story. Using expressive language is how we express our thoughts and our feelings. When a student shows a deficit in receptive language, it can be perceived as confusion when understanding everyday directions. A student might be told to circle the answers on the page, but they don't understand what that means, and they might be circling everything. It can cause frustration in the classroom and other areas when a student cannot understand what is happening or should be happening. If a student is nonverbal, they may not be able to tell you they don't understand. They may show frustration and get angry, trying to tell you that they are not understanding what you are trying to tell them. Deficit in expressive language. When students display deficits in expressive language, they may begin to show signs of frustration and anger towards self and others. Imagine taking somebody's voice away from them and communicating in any way you know how to. How would you feel? Would you feel frustrated that you can't get those words out? Would you feel angry that these people are not understanding what you're trying to do or think? Would you feel confused because why aren't these people trying to help me? Why aren't they understanding what I'm trying to show them? And anxious. They might be anxious and wondering, why can't this happen the right way? Or why am I feeling this way? It's hard for them to express how they're feeling without someone knowing what they're trying to say. Speech patterns in students with autism spectrum disorder. According to the Children's Developmental Services, children with autism often exhibit unique speech patterns that deviate from a typical language development. These patterns manifest in various ways, such as echolalia, pronoun reversal, and literal interpretation. Echolalia is a common speech pattern in which children with autism repeat the words or phrases that you are saying to them. This repetitive behavior can serve different purposes, including self-soothing, communication attempts, or processing information. A lot of times when we're giving a multiple choice question, the student will repeat the last phrase that is said. And it's not because they don't know how to answer the questions, but their interpretation of it is as they're supposed to repeat you. Pronoun reversal refers to the tendency of individuals with autism to misuse pronouns. For example, instead of saying, like they might say to them as you, instead of them meaning you or I, they just role reverse the pronouns. Literal interpretation, this is a struggle with understanding like expressions, metaphor, sarcasm. You might say it's raining cats and dogs outside, but they don't understand that that term is just a phrase and it's not really raining cats and dogs. Speech patterns. There's 5 different ones. One is, we just talked about, the echolalia. It's a form of speech in which a person echoes or repeats words. Prosody is a rhythmic and intonational aspect of language. This is the changing of pitch and rhythm of how the word sounds. Idiosyncratic is a use of stereotypical or inappropriate words. Cluttering makes speech sound really, really, really fast, sometimes like myself, or irregular. Phrases are repeated, excessive filler words may be relied on. And monotonic is a form of speech where they may sing their words or talk like a robot, just like that. Communication difficulties. In students with autism spectrum disorder, they might have a difficulty having a conversation or creating social skills with somebody else. An example might be if they're playing a game and they need to understand the directions to the game. When they can't communicate the right way, they have no way of expressing to the people that they are playing with that they need help, or they need to understand the rules, or they don't understand the rules. It's hard for them to engage in that topic of conversation. Another difficulty is ability to express their wants and their needs. I'm hungry. I need to go to the bathroom. I have a student at my school that every day around the same time, he gets very physical with his one-to-one staff support. But the staff support knows that that's the time that he's starting to get hungry. And it's his job to explain to him and show him with visuals and pictures and words and saying out loud to him that it's almost lunchtime. We have a certain amount of time to wait, and then we're going to eat. Work first, then eat. It's showing him what we are expecting of him. The last thing is expressing our feelings. Someone might be sad, someone might be hurt, someone might be angry, or someone even might be happy. They have a problem expressing those feelings unless they are taught the right way of what emotion means. To help with this, there is something called a speech pathologist, and their role is to help a student display correct punctuation, articulation of letters and words. At my school, we have, I believe, 3 speech pathologists. They do push in or pull out. They'll come and take the student out and bring them to their office, or they'll even come into the classroom so they could hear what the child is doing or saying. It doesn't always have to be with vocabulary. It can be with the device that they're using. The speech pathologist is designed to help and motivate whatever form of communication they use. They're designed to help aid them, to help them make it better, to make it easier for them. Some people, for the frequency, some people are seen once a week, some are seen twice a week. The speech pathologist will sit there, they'll do cards, they'll do games, picture matching, and they'll even collaborate with OT and PT. We actually have a speech pathologist that was working with one of my students, and she was riding a bicycle. The little girl was riding a bicycle, and the speech pathologist was chasing her with the bike saying, "I'm going to get you." And it was designed for the little girl to say, "Come get me." And after a while of modeling this behavior, the little girl was able to get on the bike and say, "Come get me," as the speech pathologist was saying, "I'm going to get you." So making it fun, making it enjoyable is just something that really helps. And speech pathologists are a really big part in aiding in a successful communication.